guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and then hit the bell button so that you will be notified whenever I post a video. So I received a lot of messages regarding our new house that I posted a month ago, and then I posted a poll on my Instagram asking them if they would like me to talk or to share more about the details on how to buy a house here in Singapore. Also, bear in mind that you still need to refer to HDB website for the latest updates and the most accurate information, because these are just the things that I researched and the things that I know. So yeah, you still have to go to HDB. You can check their Facebook, you can check their website and their Twitter. They're always updated. First things first, there are different types of sales launch. These are the BTO, which stands for Build to Order. SBF stands for Sales of Balanced Flats. ROF stands for Reoffer of Balanced Flats. This was the one that we applied for, but I think it is no longer available. I think we were the last batch. Yeah. And then lastly, the open booking. But basically, they are all from BTO. The only difference is the waiting time. So for BTO, the waiting time is about 3 to 5 years. For SBF, the waiting time is shorter as the building is already under construction or in some cases ready to move in. And for ROF, waiting time is the same as the SBF. These are the flats that were chosen before but were later given up, or they had no takers during the last SBF exercise. HDB will launch BTO exercise few times a year, and after the exercise, whatever units are not taken up, or some couples decided to break up or go for another flat, those balance units will then go to SBF, and whatever is left in the SBF exercise will go to ROF exercise. But now that they have stopped ROF exercise, all leftover units are still available for purchase, except now that they will be offered for open booking, meaning to say that leftover ones will be available all year round. So how do we apply? First, you have to check your eligibility. These are the different schemes. The first one is public scheme, fiancé scheme, orphan scheme, single Singapore citizen scheme, joint single scheme, and non-citizen spouse schemes. There are 6 schemes available, so you have to check which category is applicable for you. And not to forget that the main applicant has to be a Singapore citizen, and the rest is PR, or every one of you are Singapore citizen. So pass holders are not applicable to apply for BTO. In addition, you have to ensure that you are not making too much money to qualify for the flat you are eyeing for. So step number 2 is to ballot for your HDB flat. If you think that striking for a 40 or a Toto is hard, then try balloting for HDB flat. And you have to check HDB website regularly for any upcoming BTO sales launch, because HDB announces upcoming BTO projects 6 months prior to their launch, which will give you ample time to plan for the location you want. So when you see a launch in the area that you are eyeing, you have to pay $10 to ballot for it during the BTO application window. How many tries it takes you to get a flat depends on your luck. Some people get it on the first or second try, others have to try 10 times, and expect to wait 3 weeks to know whether your application is successful or not. And if you are a first timer, then more chances of getting it. Step number 3, and if you are lucky enough to get a decent number, you can now proceed to the financial planning before you sign your life away. To finance your house, there are 2 ways. The first one is the HDB loan, which will be taken out from your CPF ordinary account, and with this method you must obtain an HLE letter. This is valid, I think, for 6 months. And the other way to finance your house is to get a bank loan and obtain an AIP, which is approval in principle, which is equivalent to HLE as well. In our case, we chose HLE, and you have to obtain this before you move on to the next step, which is the step number 4, the selection of your flat and pay the option fee. Your queue number will determine your priority of choosing your flat. So for example, in our case, there were only, I think, 547 units available, and at that time there were, I think, 4,000 applicants, and yes, that's a lot, and our number was 1034. Yes, that was our queue number, and it is really very far. We were just blessed to be able to secure a unit, and it was our first time. So yes, we were so happy about it. And also, once you selected your unit, you'll have to pay an option fee by, I think, by nets or cash. I'm not sure if cash is acceptable, because that time we paid by nets. Don't worry, because this option fee is refundable. And also, at this point of time, you will be applying for the CPF housing grant. Then the next step is the step number 5. It is the sign of agreement of lease. This, I think, you have to wait for a few months, 5 to almost a year, it depends. And in the sign of agreement of lease appointment, you have to pay the 10% or 20% down payment, and I am not sure if you will need to pay the legal fees and stamp duty at this point. The down payment is paid by CPF ordinary accounts, so you have to make sure that you have enough money in your CPF account. I would also like to highlight that if your partner is a Singapore PR like me, there will be a premium of $10,000 that will be added to the total amount of your house. Don't worry, because this amount, $10,000 is refundable. It will be refunded back to your CPF account when you become a Singapore citizen or you pop out a Singaporean baby. So whichever comes first. Once you become a Singapore citizen or you popped out a baby, you have to apply for the refund, something like that. I am not gonna talk about that because I'm not there yet. And after you sign the agreement of lease, all you can do now is wait for the building to be done. And the last step, which is step number 6, is the most exciting and the most awaited part of this journey, which is the key collection. So during the key collection, you have to pay for the town council, fire insurance, and the legal fees, stamp duties, and everything. So town council has to be paid by cash, fire insurance is by cash or nets as well, but the stamp duties, legal fees, these are all be added to your total amount of the house, which will be paid by your CPF ordinary account. So don't worry about that. And also, you have to open an SP utility account to activate your electricity and water. So by the time you go through your new house and renovate it, you'll be having electricity and water. Those are the 6 steps that you have to do when you apply for BTO, SBF, or BTO and SBF. And that was just the introduction of this video. I will now share our journey. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just going to share with you guys the timeline, so you'll have a rough idea on how long it will take if you go for, in my case, ROF, which is somehow SBF. We actually fall in the fiancé scheme because at that time we were just boyfriend and girlfriend, and my husband is a Singapore citizen and I am just a Singapore PR. We applied for the ROF exercise sales launch last February 14, 2019, and then we got the result on February 28, 2019, so that was 2 weeks. I think, that was 2 weeks, February 14 and then February 28. Yes, so that was 2 weeks. And then March 19, 2019, when we received the date to book our flat, and the appointment was on April 14, 2019. So while waiting for our appointment to book a flat, we applied for the HLE on March 20, just the day after we received the appointment details. and our HLE was processed only for 6 days. And I know some people have to wait for a month or longer than that. As long as you have the full requirements and everything is in order, the processing time will be fast. Like ours, it only took 6 days. And then April 14, when we book a flat, and we only chose 3 room, because if talk about it, like this house will be a startup for us, and then we will see how it goes after 5 years, if we will continue to stay here or maybe move on to a bigger house. And yes, as long as we have a house now, we are good. Rather than renting a house, might as well buy and use your CPF, right? January 2, 2020, we received the date to sign the agreement of lease. In my case, we only pay for the 5% down payment, and we did not pay the legal fees and stamp duty that time. Yes. Then after that, we waited for the next one, which is the key collection. So here comes the devastating part, because the key collection was supposed to be on June 2020, but the construction firm was badly affected by the pandemic, so we had to wait for another 6 months from June. So June 6 months, so it's like end of the year. And we were also put under circuit breaker, aka quarantine, so everything was stopped, construction was stopped. So yes, that was the reason why we had to wait for another 6 months. And then January 3, 2021, we received the best news ever. Our key collection date finally happened, and it was on June 6, 2021. So basically, our journey was from February 14, 2019 to January 6, 2021. It took us 2 years when it should only take 1 year. So, but it's okay, we are not on a rush, and we still have a house to to stay away while waiting. And what we're gonna do now is we have to renovate the house, and I will also bring you guys in the renovation process. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope that this video helped you a lot. And if you still have more questions, please don't hesitate to ask me on my social media accounts, and also don't forget to follow me on my social media accounts, and don't forget to subscribe on this channel. Also, please like and share this video. And yes, that is it, guys. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.